stun on the gram, I stun on your man, I stun on your chick. Cause I get it lit, yeah. Cause I get it lit.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Pose Down. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about who had the best back of all time in bodybuilding. But before I do that, let me put some sweetness in my drink, some sugar-free orange. All right, when we talk about the best backs in bodybuilding, the two best backs that I can think of, it's gonna be between Dorian Yates and, of course, Ronnie Coleman. Dorian Yates, of course, won 6 Mr. Olympias, and Ronnie Coleman is tied for the record for 8 Mr. Olympia titles. But these guys undeniably have, the most ridiculous back or backs in bodybuilding history. When it comes to sheer thickness, muscle bellies, width, striation, muscle separation, the 3D look, it's just all there. It's ridiculous. These guys definitely have the two best backs of all time, but we're gonna talk about who's number 1 and who's number 2, in my opinion. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break it up into 4 metrics. So the first metric is gonna be thickness, conditioning, muscular separation, width. On the back double bicep pose, if you look at Ronnie Coleman, he's got, as you can see, the depth, it's thick. He's got the width. I'm not even looking at his lower half. I'm not looking at his glutes or his hamstrings or his arms. I'm just looking at everything that entitles his back. His rear delts are connected to his back, so I am looking at his rear delts as well. But if you look at his rhomboids, if you look at his traps, if you look at his Christmas tree when he hits the back double bicep, it's the thickness is all there. And then he's got a small waist, so it looks very tapered. And then if you look at Dorian Yates' back, same thing, super thick, very, very conditioned, hard, muscular separation. Ronnie Coleman's got a crazy amount of lines in his back, just like Dorian Yates. But when it comes to the back double bicep, when I compare the two, Ronnie Coleman wins this pose, in my opinion. He just has more thickness and more lines. There's just more separation in his back. Dorian does have a slightly better Christmas tree if you look at the lower back area of his back, but when it comes to thickness and just the 3D, it's Ronnie Coleman, in my opinion. But when you look at the lat spread between Ronnie Coleman and Dorian Yates, here I got to give it to Dorian Yates. When it comes to the lat spread, Dorian Yates' back is just thicker. It's more 3D and it's wider as well. His lats are slightly wider. It's literally nitpicking. We're splitting hairs here. It's so close between the two when it comes to their back. But Dorian Yates does have a slightly thicker back. If you look at the trap area, it's just a little bit thicker, a little bit wider. So I got to give the lat spread pose to Dorian Yates. When you look at the Christmas tree pose, when they're winding up to hit the lat spread, when they kind of pull their arms back by their waist, it's so close between the two. If you look closely, they both have an incredible Christmas tree. You can see the separation and the lines on the lats. It's just in their traps it's just incredible. Their back is just ridiculous. But on this particular pose, I still like, Ronnie Coleman a little bit better. You can go either way. I personally like Ronnie Coleman's back on this. It just looks more conditioned. Well, the conditioning is close, but to me, it just looks better on Ronnie Coleman when he hits this wind up to open up his back for the lat spread. So, all in all, in my opinion, these are obviously the top 2 backs of all time in bodybuilding. It's been said by a lot of experts, a lot of professional bodybuilders. And in my opinion, I agree. I think they do have the top 2 backs of all time. But, most people think Dorian Yates has the best back. I got to go with Ronnie Coleman. To me, Ronnie Coleman has the best back of all time when it comes to the lines, the separation, the conditioning, the thickness. The whole total package of his back is it's there. The proportion, the symmetry, everything is there. When it comes to the lat spread, I give it to Dorian Yates. When it comes to the back double bicep, I give it to Ronnie Coleman. And when we use those metrics that I said as far as conditioning, I would say they're pretty even. When it comes to muscular separation, I feel like Ronnie Coleman has a little bit more lines on his back. When it comes to width, I do give it to Dorian Yates. I think he's a little bit wider. But all in all, you know, to me, it's just Ronnie Coleman's back. You know, I would say Ronnie's a 1A, Dorian Yates is a 1B. It's that close. But let me know if you guys agree in the comment section. Do you think Ronnie Coleman has a better back? Do you think Dorian Yates has a better back? Or do you think somebody else in the bodybuilding industry, past or present, has a better back than these two bodybuilders that we just spoke about today? I would definitely like to know what you guys think. Till next time, it's the Kid Plot. You just watch Pose Down. We out. Thank you for watching. Subscribe here to make sure to stay up to date with all the videos. And make sure to hit the notification button.